Hello, this is All 24 News World News Program, and these are today's headlines. Algerian President Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune attended on Sunday the opening ceremony of Qatar World Cup 2022 held in Doha in Al Bayt Stadium. The proceedings of the 27th session of UN Climate Summit in Egypt ended on Sunday in wake of deep differences between the parties over a final statement on pending issues. And Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev was headed for a landslide victory in a snap election on Sunday, according to exit polls, solidifying his grip on power less than a year after he sidelined his long-ruling predecessor, Nursultan Nazarbayev. Also coming up, more than a dozen powerful explosions have been recorded near a huge Russian-occupied nuclear power plant in South Ukraine. Hello again, I'm Karim Zachary. Welcome to the program. First in our news, Algerian President Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune attended on Sunday the opening ceremony of Qatar World Cup 2022 held in Doha in Al Bayt Stadium. This was at the invitation of his brother, His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, Emir of Qatar. President Tebboune met with a number of leaders of Arab countries on the sidelines of the first match of the World Cup. Algerian head of state also encountered some personalities from the world of football on the sidelines of the opening ceremony of the World Cup Qatar 2022. Also in our topical news, the Francophonie Summit in Tunisia entered its final phase on Sunday with a meeting on political instability in French-speaking Africa on the menu, which is fueling growing civic distrust. After a day dedicated to digital technology as development tool and the ambition of the 88 members of the International Organization of La Francophonie to strengthen its international role, Tunisian President Mr. Kais Saied closes the 18th Francophonie Summit on the island of Jerba, announcing that the next meeting will take place in France.
I renew Tunisia's commitment to solidarity on a global scale for a world of solidarity, while reaffirming my country's deep attachment to the shared values of democracy. Freedom and civic participation are the foundation and the essence of our work.
Our motto for the next summit will be to promote the universal principles and values we have in common while respecting our differences. While solidarity and respect are the heart of our common project, they will be our compass to strengthen dialogue and consultation between Francophones in the service of our common interest.
Moving on now, the European Parliamentary Research Service announced that next Tuesday, members will consider an initiative report of the Foreign Affairs Committee on the political and security situation in Libya. The Centre stated that the report of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the European Parliament proposes the appointment of a special representative of the European Union in Libya and the redoubling of the European Union's diplomatic efforts to promote peace in the country and the region. The report also recommends strong support for UN-led reconciliation efforts that seek a peaceful and democratic transition in Libya, where weak governance and proxy warfare have strengthened armed groups at the expense of democracy. Also in our news, the President of the European Council, Charles Michel, begins a working visit to Mauritania on Sunday to discuss ways to enhance and develop bilateral cooperation between the two sides in all fields. According to Mauritanian media, quoting diplomatic sources, the European official will meet during the visit with the Mauritanian President Mohamed Ould Sheikh Al Ghazawani, as well as the Prime Minister Mohamed Ould Bilal. The proceedings of the 27th session of the UN Climate Summit in Egypt ended on Sunday in wake of deep differences between the two parties, or between parties participating in the summit, over a final statement on pending issues, on top of which is the establishment of a new fund to help poor countries and the international commitment to the phase out of fossil fuels. Zahra Farjani has more.
Sunday dawn witnessed the conclusion of one of the longest and most difficult climate negotiations in the history of the UN climate conferences. COP27, which exceeded the scheduled timetable, adopted a highly disputed deal that sets up a fund to help poor countries being battered by climate disasters, but without new ambitions for the reduction in greenhouse gases.
My friends, we heard the calls and we responded. Today, here in Sharm el-Sheikh, we established the first ever dedicated fund for loss and damage, a fund that has been so long in the making.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres expressed his reservations on the agreement and stressed that COP27 has not answered the question of reducing greenhouse gas emissions.
Our planet is still in the emergency room. We need to drastically reduce emissions now, and this is an issue this COP did not address. A fund for loss and damage is essential, but it's not an answer if the climate crisis washes a small island state off the map or turns an entire African country to desert. The world still needs a giant leap on climate ambition.
The European Union also said it is disappointed because the agreement sealed at COP27 lacked ambition in reducing emissions.
The European Union came here to get strong language agreed, and we are disappointed we didn't achieve this. I strongly urge us all to roll up our sleeves and show to the world that the fight for ambition for a better future is not yet over.
Although the issue of climate losses and damages in the poorer and vulnerable countries was acknowledged in COP27, the creation of a specific financial fund to compensate countries most affected by disasters is a small step towards climatic justice, but much more is needed for the planet.
Turkish Defense Ministry stated that its forces have launched deadly airstrikes on the northern region of Iraq and Syria. These last military actions came as part of its retaliation against Kurdish groups that Turkey considers responsible for the Taksim Strait terrorist attack. The attacks were carried out on bases of the outlawed Kurdish Workers' Party. According to some reports, 12 people have been killed, including one security officer in the two countries. The head of the UN nuclear watchdog, Rafael Grossi, made an urgent appeal for a stop to the fighting at the Zaporizhia plant, or nuclear plant, Europe's biggest. Russia's military accused Ukraine forces on the other side of the river of the shelling the area under its control. There was no immediate word from the Ukrainians, who have previously suggested that the Russian forces were the ones who shelled the area themselves, despite having their troops there. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian nuclear agency renewed its call for the demilitarization of the power plant and accused Russia of continuing to abstract its workers there.
The Kiev regime does not stop its provocations with the aim of creating a threat of industrial disaster at the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. On November 19th, 11 large-caliber shells were launched at the station by Ukrainian artillery. In the morning of November 20th, the station was shelled twice by Ukrainian forces. Between 9:15 and 9:45 in the morning, 12 shells were launched. 8 of them were exploded between Energy Block 5 and Special Building Number 2. 3 of the shelled hit area between Energy Blocks 4 and 5. Another shell hit the roof of Special Building Number 2.
A total of 9 cargo ships carrying 162,000 tons of agricultural products left ports in southern Ukraine on Friday and Saturday within the framework of the Black Sea Grain Initiative. The initial duration of the deal is 120 days, which expires on November 19th. However, Russia and Ukraine agreed on Thursday to extend the deal on the export of grain and fertilizers from Black Sea ports for a further 120 days. To Kazakhstan now. Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev was headed for a landslide victory in a snap election on Sunday, according to exit polls, solidifying his grip on power less than a year after he sidelined his long-ruling predecessor, Nursultan Nazarbayev, the former diplomat who came to power in 2019 as Nazarbayev's hand-picked successor when the Central Asian nation's only ruler since the Soviet era stepped down, broke with his ex-patron after a January uprising that Tokayev called a coup attempt.
I hope that peace and well-being that we have right now will continue in the future, so that not only working people were doing well, but pensioners as well, and people with many children, so that the whole world was healthy, so that there were no ethnic divisions. Thank God everything is good here now.
We expect from President Tokayev improvements in economy and well-being of the nation. Kazakhstan is a rich country, so he'll be doing a lot for the younger generation and for his nation.
To Malaysia now. Malaysians expressed disappointment on Sunday as no single party or political coalition gained simple majority on a tightly contested election in Malaysia, which resulted in a hung parliament for the first time in its history.
Parties now have to be more aware of their seats. There's no more longer any safe seats. MPs are expected to be on the ground. I mean, if you talk about MPs, you can see PKR, Anwar Ibrahim's daughter, Nur Izzah, which is supposed to be a safe seat in Perempatan Pau.
Still in Asia, but this time Thailand, Thai anti-government protesters clashed with the police as the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit got underway on Friday. Police confronted protesters trying to march to the summit venue in Bangkok, beating them back with batons. Injured activists were seen being carried away, and officials said 10 protesters had been arrested. A man being held at a heavily criticized detention facility for migrants in Britain passed away after becoming ill, prompting fresh criticism of the Conservative government's handling of asylum seekers. Authorities are attempting to get in touch with the man's next of kin, who is thought to have arrived in England on November 12th in a small boat. China expressed its willingness to hold talks with the U.S. Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, on the sidelines of a regional security forum to be held in Cambodia this week. China's defense ministry said on Sunday that Beijing had an open and positive position regarding the exchange of views with Washington, adding that the two sides were coordinating on the exchange of views.
Chinese defense minister is ready to hold a meeting with his U.S. counterpart on the margins of the ASEAN defense ministers meeting plus this week. The Chinese side is proactive and open to exchanging views with the United States during the ASEAN defense ministers meeting with dialogue partners, and the relevant agencies of the two sides are in contact and in coordination on this issue.
Around 15 million Twitter users voted in the poll organized by Elon Musk by or with 51.8% voting in favor of reinstatement of former U.S. President Donald Trump's Twitter account, which was banned from the social media service for inciting violence. However, Donald Trump said on Saturday he had no interest in returning to Twitter, even after Musk's announcement that he would reinstate the former president's account.
Truth Social has been very, very powerful, very, very strong, and I'll be staying there. But I hear we're getting a big vote to also go back on Twitter. I don't see it because I don't see any reason for it. They have a lot of problems at Twitter. You see what's going on. It may make it, it may not make it, but the problems are incredible. The engagements are negative, and you have a lot of bots and you have a lot of fake accounts, which I think they should get on. But Truth Social has taken the place for a lot of people, and I don't see them going back onto Twitter.
And for more international news, let's follow this roundup by Usama Ayadi.
A mass funeral has been held in Gaza after a fire killed 21 people, including children, in the neighborhood of Jabalia. Authorities said the blaze erupted in the family's home during a celebration.
We heard the screams of a woman who was begging for help with a small child. We tried to help her. Unfortunately, the doors were closed from the inside, and the flames and smoke spread everywhere, until everyone inside the house died.
Nepalese voters are casting their ballots for a new parliament on Sunday in a poll dominated by popular frustrations with the Himalayan Republic's aging political elite and concern over their faltering economy.
As voters, we always want development. We want to see better roads and better education, but that's not the case. So there should be a new generation. The old leaders should take leave of a respectful way, and people with the new ideas should come into the political party. That's what we expect.
A new round of heavy snow hits the Altai prefecture in northwest China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. The snow is expected to last until Wednesday, with 7 to 15 centimeters of snow falling in the river valleys and plains of the Altai prefecture, and 30 to 50 centimeters in its mountainous areas. The Russian Kamchatka volcanic eruption response team said on Sunday that the Shiveluch volcano on the Kamchatka Peninsula in the Russian Far East has become extremely active and is threatening a powerful eruption in the next period.
And to a lighter note now, Canadian-American actor Michael J. Fox was given an honorary Oscar at the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences on the 13th Annual Governors Awards on Saturday. The Back to the Future actor was presented with the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award for his advocacy work surrounding Parkinson's disease. Fox famously founded the non-profit Michael J. Fox Foundation in 2000, which focuses on finding a cure for the disease from which Fox suffers.
It's truly an honor to present the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award to my friend, Michael J. Fox.
But it's humbling in the deepest way to stand here and accept your kindness and your approbation, when truly the effort is being driven by others, so deserving of this attention. I'm grateful to them and to you, because my optimism is fueled by my gratitude. And with gratitude, optimism is sustainable. I can't believe I've been standing here for this long. It's a miracle.
Moving on to another light note, Paris Champs-Élysées turned up its holiday spirits on Sunday, November 20th, night, as the iconic avenue inaugurated its traditional Christmas season, Glow Up, amid a worldwide energy crisis. Across much of Europe, lights will be fewer, more energy efficient, and switched off earlier at night, while shops will be a bit chillier, in keeping with government urgings to rein in energy use and in a show of solidarity with households that face soaring utility bills.
Yeah, I mean, I saw one of the signs said that they're using less electricity this year, which is really cool. And I think they've also closed the road this year, which is incredible. So it's like they're sort of making these strides towards, I guess, a greener future, which is good.
Still with Christmas festivities, 36 days before Christmas, Santa took time off his busy schedule to grace the streets of downtown Montreal. The Santa Claus Parade returned to St. Catherine Street for its 70th year of cheer Saturday, after a break due to COVID-19 pandemic. Organizers say 400,000 people bundled up to watch the parade, resuming old traditions and starting new ones.
It's very beautiful. It's well done. It was very rich. Lots of ideas, lots of decorations. The children liked it, and the adults too.
It was very good. I was really excited. I looked like a little girl.
And with this, ladies and gentlemen, our news comes to a close. Thank you for tuning in. For more stories, don't forget to visit our social media platforms as well as our official website. That's it for me. Bye for now.